Hello, my name is John Rose. In this video, I'd like to take a closer look at the impact our food choices have on our environment. And this is extremely important for us to understand because our environment is our external metabolism. It's also important for us to understand because our food choices not only affect us individually, but they affect the environment and therefore everyone else. And that means that none of us has a right to eat the wrong food. And if you're struggling right now, eating the right food, and you know you're not eating the right food, to help motivate you, quit being so selfish. Do it for the rest of us. Do it for your children. Don't you see? By eating meat, that guarantees your children aren't going to have a future. By eating grains, it guarantees your children aren't going to have a future. Why? Because those two food choices are not environmentally friendly. Oh, but wait a second, John. We vegans, we know, we cookies over here. We know that 40 of us can live on the same amount of land and water as that carnivore over there, that meat eater. Yeah, do you know that 2.5 raw vegans can live on the same amount of land and water as you? And that means 100 times that of a meat eater. But do you realize what you're doing by eating grains? Do you really understand how environmentally unfriendly that is? Do you realize that we have wiped out the forest in a 10,000 year period of time since we started eating grains, all the way from Spain to India? And America only took 300 years. We're not supposed to have grains of corn and soy. That's not what we're supposed to have on this planet. That's two-dimensional compared to a forest that's three-dimensional. You care about animals. Why are you cutting down their habitat, the forest that can have so much life and animals can live in a forest? How much can live in a cornfield? It's not environmentally friendly at all. It uses too many resources, and then it doesn't do us any good. It makes us sick. Why? Because we got to cook it to eat it, and that's the biggest problem we face as a species. If we weren't eating cooked food, we wouldn't be so disconnected that we would pollute our external environment. Something is wrong with man. We don't have a propensity for evil, we have a tendency because we don't know how to live. Propensity means a natural tendency, something natural about the dark side of our behavior. It's not part of our DNA. We're not born of sin in that respect. We create these problems by eating the wrong food. And man, I see some light on my camera lens. I can only imagine what disaster that's playing right now with that scratch. So, do you really care about animals? If I could prove to you that your way of life is destroying other animals, would you at least consider not cooking your food? Guess what? The proof is out there. You don't need, all you gotta do is just use your common sense, right? Think about it. What would happen if this whole planet was nothing but trees instead of cornfields and soy fields? Come on, man. What kind of life would we have on this planet? If the majority of our land, if we took every grain field right now on this planet, everything that's growing, any type of wheat, corn, soy, you name it, if those were converted into orchards and vegetable gardens, my God, we'd have so much abundance of food it's not even funny. And the planet would be healthier, we'd be getting all that good oxygen. And we wouldn't have to spend a big part of our day earning money to buy the food because it'd all be free. And we wouldn't have housing costs because that would be free also. We wouldn't have energy costs because that would be free also. And we wouldn't have people ruling the world because there are no rulers in paradise, which is simply a place where we don't have problems within our control. The only time you can take advantage of people is when they're sick. We are sick, and the solution is get healthy. It's as simple as that. So we can stop polluting the environment, we can stop killing animals, we can stop abusing children, we can stop suffering from diseases that we inflict if we just own up to the fact that we are what we eat, and if we change what we eat, guess what's going to happen? We're going to change what we got. So how do we begin? Well, it's not easy to eat more of the good stuff and less of the bad stuff, is it? Well, that's why I perfected a 3-step process, and the first step addresses that willingness issue. And I know the struggle most people have. I know that most people are not in a position to evaluate what they're doing and what they need to do because they don't think it's going to be a fair trade. I understand. You don't know what you're missing. That's why the first step allows you to see that in a very short period of time. If you go from a vegan diet to a raw vegan diet, you'll notice the difference, but it won't be quite as quick as you do a solid food vacation where you drink a gallon or two of freshly made juice and watch the transformation explode right in front of you. I'm telling you, you don't know what you're missing. Don't say something stupid like, oh, I can never eat a vegan diet, oh, I can never eat raw food. You might as well just blow your foot off. That's what you're doing. You're shooting yourself in the foot, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Never say I can't do something. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. So, it's easy to find excuses not to do what we're supposed to do. Oh, we can't feed the world this way now. Well, of course we can now. We're not set up to do it now. It's a silly comment. Didn't think it out yet, but hey, I understand comments that aren't all that great. When you think a lot, you think of a lot of stupid thoughts. Hopefully you second thought it and you go, whoop, got to throw that one out. That was one of those dumb ones. So, we have to realize this is very doable. It only makes sense that the planet could sustain ourselves with the only food that wants us to eat it. All we have to do to turn this hell back into paradise is fulfill our agreement with the fruit. There's a symbiotic relationship with it, and we're not fulfilling our role. If we nurture this food, if we take care of that food, it will take care of us. It will supply us with all of our air and our water and our food. We'll get our exercise. We'll get the sunshine. We'll get a good night's sleep. Mainly, we won't be disconnected and so sick that we're crapping in our own backyard. People don't realize that there is no such thing as crapping in someone else's backyard because we're all one. Most of us can't wrap our brain around it because our biophoton levels are too low. Got to bump up the biophoton levels. When you do, you have an appreciation for nature. So while you're on your journey on a solid food vacation, go out in nature as much as you can because you're going to feel connected in a way you never have. I guarantee you, I know it. One of the many reasons why I love doing this is that it helps you even feel more connected. Of course, that's the benefit of eating a raw food diet. You feel that connection with everything around you. Sadly, the rest of you guys are too low. It's no fun. We got to get you guys up. So it's time to get excited. It's time to play your role when it comes to solving problems that are within our control. And that begins by doing the first of my three-step process if you haven't done so yet. If you're not motivated, listen to Dr. Roba. I have that interview down below. Watch me on the Deborah Duncan Show. You can see women getting rid of varicose veins and bunions. Fibromyalgia is gone. Gout is gone. Athletic performance increases. I'm telling you, this is an exciting thing to do. And that's why I always say, when you do it, you're in for a treat.